These are the towers of New York's World Trade Center. They are 1,350 feet high, and this morning a young Frenchman named Philippe Peti, an accomplished aerialist, walked a tight wire from tower to tower. Petit had no net beneath him. Later in the day, a judge sentenced Petit.
It was unbelievable. Totally unbelievable. It was amazing. It was scary. It was a very heightened sense of adrenaline rush. It was wild. Every adjective you could think of that's beyond your normal day affair. That's what that adjective was running through my body at the time. You know, it was very intense. A quarter of a mile up, 135 feet across, and to see him go back and forth and back and forth and lay down, kneel, do a U-turn, all these things. It was very insane.
I think he's nuts. How can anybody walk between the Trade Center? They'd have to have a ladder. They'd have to have something to brace them. How do you do it?
How I did it? It's the same question as how did you do that perfect murder? I mean, you know, I didn't kill anyone. It was an artistic crime. I did it by working on it. I had planned it, like one planned a bank robbery. The first time I saw this building, I looked up to the two most giant structures in the world, and my thought was, it's impossible. What I want to do is clearly, simply impossible. So I started to work on it. I hardly spoke English. I had no money at all. I didn't know this country. I didn't know this city. I actually knew no one when I came here. And I managed to bring almost a ton of equipment here secretly. I had to do the whole rigging crouching under this level, like this, not to be seen by the highest level over there. It had to be done without sound, without light. In the middle of the night, you're putting a wire, you have absolutely no light, no sound. I was rigging like crazy all night. And now, in the morning, it was time that the workers will start appearing on the roof, and the crime had to be performed or else abandoned. So at 7:15, I stepped on the wire.
My job is at the top of the building at that time. I come out of the subway by 8 in the morning, and I see all these police emergency trucks here, and I look up and I see this fella on a wire between the towers. I couldn't believe it. Out there, 1,200 foot above the ground. It was marvelous. Drove the people in the building crazy, of course, because it's against the law to do that, you know. Of course, we told him that when he's out on the wire. Come off there. This is against the law, you know. But of course, everybody changed their attitude after a while. It was against the law, but it was a magnificent thing he did.
Police took a humorless view of the act. They took Petit and a companion into custody and finally decided to charge them with disorderly conduct and trespassing and carted them off to a local precinct station.
I have danced between the highest towers that man has created, and I get handcuffed. You know, they could do anything they want. After that, they could have, you know, cut my head. So what? I was still on my wire. I was still up there. We need to build roads and schools and hospitals and give food to people, but equally important, we need to make them realize that imagination is limitless, that they can move mountains. What I do is seemingly useless, but actually is an inspiration. Looking up is flying your own way. People who don't have wings, they can fly by looking up.